All right. Hey, everybody. It is April and Whitney, Chandra. We're here today to do some live readings. So if you are here with us, please let us know in the comments. It's nice to know that you're here. And hey to everybody watching the replay. Even if you're watching the replay, there are oftentimes some really relevant messages. And if you are watching the replay, you might just pick a time in the video, and whatever that message is at that time is a message there for you. But we're also going to be just kind of looking at the energy and see what's going on too. So this week, there's a lot of energy going on. If you're on my email list, you've already gotten a little bit of a blurb about what that is. But there's like 7 planets in Aries happening this week, which is a lot of different energy. Well, it's a lot of energy. It's like the same energy, but all on different planets. And so a lot of times we're feeling what can feel like, well, one is more energy. Sometimes it feels chaos. Sometimes it feels like, a cluster of stuff, because literally it's a cluster of planets. And sometimes we are being asked to ask ourselves what we want to create, like what new things are coming. And so I just want to ask you, Chandra, what kind of energy have you been feeling this week, or what's coming this week? Or maybe you got some messages about, what people might expect.
I have definitely been feeling the fire. Like I feel like I need to be doing something, and it's like I'll start down a certain path, and I'll be like, no, 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 I need to be doing something else. It's almost like the feeling inside of like I need to be doing everything at once, although that I know logically that doesn't really make sense, and that's not really applicable to real life. But it has definitely kind of created that feeling of like pulled in all directions kind of feeling, and a definite like need to be in action in all of those different directions. So kind of choosing a path right now to focus that energy on has been a little challenging.
I can agree with that. Yeah. And so I think it's like for everybody important to listen to their intuition this week. I mean, it's important to listen to it all the time. But an example for me is I'll have on my list, what I want to accomplish or what I think I need to be doing that day. And my spirit guides will say, do this other thing. And there's a part of me that just wants to go down the list because, I'm getting stuff done. I feel like I've got the energy to do it, and they're trying to reroute me. And it's kind of this push and pull or tug where I'm like, I want to do this one thing. And, they want me to do something else. And of course, we know that we always need to listen to our spirit guides instead of what we want to do. But I can relate to that.
And two, even if you don't like what they're saying, because one of the areas where I have needed to put energy in here in the last couple of weeks has been in our outdoor space, like our yard and plant beds and things. And not my forte, not something I really enjoy doing. So my mind is kind of like, okay, yeah, no, I need to be doing that, but I'd rather be over here doing this, and I'd rather be over here doing that. But I have found I've gotten the most results, the best results when I do just kind of like suck it up and follow my intuition and do the thing that I'm being drawn to do, even if it's not the thing I want to do right at that moment.
That's eloquently put. I definitely agree with that. I have many scenarios going on in my mind of, and I even heard, you need to be doing this. And I'll say, but, when you say, but, it's not going to work out too well. I'm like, but all these other things logically, are where I need to be putting my time. And Spirit replied back with, but if this thing isn't dealt with or taken care of, none of these other things are going to go that well. This has to be done first. I'm like, okay, fine. So maybe your logic does make sense, but I totally get it. Okay, so we've got some people here. So hi to everybody. Thank you for putting in the comments that you're here. If you are watching the replay, love to know that you're watching with us that way too. But let's just kind of kick it off Chandra, and let's just pull some cards or give some messages about what we can do this week as a collective before we get to some individual readings. Like, let's ask Spirit, and you can ask however you want, but I'm going to ask, to my spirit guides, what are some messages that everybody who's watching now or later needs to know about what they can do to help harness the energy around and make the most of it? So I want to see what Spirit shares here.
Well, I love Spirit's sense of humor sometimes, because you really can't make it up. The first card that popped out was water. Mm-hmm. And with all those planets in Aries and all the fire going on, the first thing I thought when I saw that was balance.
Yeah.
Right. And we get that kind of like that fire energy and that, go, do. But, you can't discount and not also deal with the emotions that are coming up around that. It's still going to be like a balanced situation. And then the second card that popped out was teacher guide. Mm-hmm. So, when we do, just like what you were talking about before, when we do feel like we're being pulled in so many different directions and we are kind of like getting that guidance, is like, be sure to pay attention to what it is you can learn from that, because there's guidance is never without reason.
That's true. I like that. I've been getting the teacher card over and over. And for me, this wasn't about the reading this week. For me, it was like, remember to rest was standing out on that card. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but like, how's that going to happen this week? Right. And I think that just me saying that is also important for everybody to try to make sure that you're having that balance, like you just talked about with the water card.
Well, and it's funny that you say that, because I pulled a card just for myself right before we started, saying, what does Spirit want me to know or have in my awareness about this reading today? And it was the card about self-care.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got to be a theme going around right now.
Yeah. I think we can forget, when we've got all this powerful energy around us, we can forget to really take care of ourselves and to balance. And for some of us, it's really kind of a welcomed place where we want to have more energy, but there's two sides to that, where we might burn ourselves out too much. So I just pulled cards as you were pulling cards. I think you're going to be interested in one of the themes. But the first card I got is the butterfly, break through your limits. This is like the window of opportunity this week. So it feels like it's really important for you to say yes only when you feel excited about it, only when you feel that yes in your gut. But like, don't delay, do the thing, like take the action. And that's part of the energy with Aries, is take the action. The next card is think big, and you can see you're moving up, which is great. But sometimes we can feel like we're climbing that mountain, like, oh, it takes so much work. The good news is that you have a lot of energy this week to help you accelerate your vibration, to help you move forward in your journey. But don't forget to think bigger and expand your awareness instead of focusing in on the details too much. We don't, like, details are important, but we don't want to get stuck in there. And then the last card, which I like this because the first card Chandra got was water. The last card I got is water. So it's kind of like closing out the energy, where you need to have balance. And allow things to flow, allow for it to flow. And so much fire, make sure that you're like having that time where you're cooling off, where you're resting. So definitely a theme that we're talking about today. And now let's go ahead and get some reading. So if you're here, what I'd like for you to do is to put any kind of heart emoji in the comments if you would like for us to pull a card for you. Now, if you don't have access to the emojis, just put a yes in the comments. So a heart emoji or yes, the word yes, and we'll pull a card randomly. We won't be able to get to everybody, but know that what's interesting is we pull cards for where we feel drawn, and that can also be a message for you too if you didn't get a reading here today. So thank you all for joining us. I love seeing some of these names. I love it. Okay. We've got some, so let's go ahead and kick it off with Alice. So the handle here is Alice Savage 2623. I'm going to ask you, Chandra, if you'll pull a card for Alice.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull one too.
Oh, first card that popped out was Higher Self. And with that, I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's certain things that you're starting to see from a different perspective, and there's certain kind of areas where the best way I can say it, and I don't know that I necessarily mean this the way it's going to sound, but like beliefs might be being challenged to where something that you thought was absolutely true, you may have now started to see from kind of like a different perspective, and just know that kind of like that's your higher self coming in and kind of showing you new opportunities, new areas where different boundaries may be necessary, and just trying to pull things more into a better alignment for you for where you are right now is the feeling that's given me.
Thank you. So I noticed that card is purple, and I also pulled purple cards. So you know that spirit has a play in this, and so there's this underlying theme of like your spiritual self and connecting more to spirit is part of the readings here. But I ended up pulling two cards, and they were kind of stuck together in a way. Stuck together meaning more in like from an energy standpoint, not like literally, but they have very similar colors to each other. And this is the divine timing card. Let go of your timeline. Spirit has a plan. And this is the career card. It's time to align or pivot, align your career with your purpose. So those messages feels like around job, around more purpose-centered, like what you do most of the day. There's going to be a pivot or a shift, but it feels like you might need to be more flexible with what you want. So it feels like there might be an expectation of, I want things to change. I want things to change. What am I going to do? What is it? And it just feels like I got to take a breath of relief and just know that spirit's got a plan. So the way I see things, it's like it kind of comes down and then it starts going back up again, meaning you're in this path and then there's this pivot that happens. And it feels like, you might start having more of a better shift or a pivot around May or June. But just know that these changes are happening. But I love that the purple is your theme right now. So even utilizing the color purple when you're meditating, focusing on your crown chakra, enveloping yourself with a purple light can be extra helpful as you're going through the energy, especially this week. So thank you for letting us pull cards for you. All right. Rita is saying, I've been getting the teacher guide lots this week too, especially about resting. Yeah. Okay. So Kristen Rezick, let's pull some cards for you. Okay, I've got a card, so I'll go ahead and give you what I've got as Chandra's getting her messages. So the first card I have, Kristen, here is clear your mind. You're blocking what you need to receive. Nobody likes that card because they're like, I've been clearing my mind. What am I doing? Sometimes it's not as simple as just meditating. Sometimes it's not as simple as just talking to our spirit guides, moving your body, having alone time when you're doing that. So sometimes when we're moving our body or going on walks, we're listening to podcasts or we're listening to an audio book or music. It feels like really just bringing your awareness more to nature and to what's going on around. It feels like even rocking your body, it just needs to be more body centered. And you have this card, which is take action now. Not literally right now. What this means is when you shift some of the energy going on in the body, because I feel like for you, it's going to come more in your gut, like through feeling or knowing. And when you have that, I've got to go do this, I feel inspired, then you take the action. So Chandra and I were talking about this week, don't delay, like take the action, but only take action when you feel like it's intuitive or inspired. And so if you feel confused or you feel chaotic, move your body so that your vessel can become more of a blank slate, so to speak. And then when you get those messages, go ahead and take that action. So that's the messages that I have. But Chandra, how about you?
Ironically, not. Pretty much same exact message. I got choice. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And as it flew out, as you were talking about clear your mind, and the first thing that popped into my head is clearing your mind, not in the sense of kind of, making it a clean slate, but like consciously choosing what you want to consume. So kind of like clearing your mind of some of the things that might be causing the confusion, that might be, clouding what else needs to come through. And like, you were talking about being in nature, focusing more on, the moving your body or things like that. I feel like it needs to be a conscious choice though, to clear your mind. And then higher self again, which is the inspired action. Like,
Yeah.
make sure to connect to go inward for the inspiration for that action, not like we were talking about before, not what should I logically be doing, but what am I being drawn to? What is spirit telling me or guiding me toward to be doing right now, which may not make the most logical sense, but is going to be better for me in the long run.
Yeah, I like that. Well, thank you, Kristen, for letting us pull some messages. Now let's go over to Rosemary Valentino, 7804, and pull some cards here for you and see what Spirit wants to share and how you can best utilize this energy. Not surprised. I'll just have to go since, I made the comment already. So the card, I have two, but one of the cards is the choice. So that you love. Yeah. We both have the same card for you. So I love how that happens, Rosemary. Choice. So I'll tell my take and then Chandra can share her take. But I also got the card of the heart chakra. It's time for self-care. And what I'm getting here is you can choose your past and what you've done in the past, like past patterns, choose from your past mindset, or you can move into a new mindset and start new cycles. And a lot of this feels like it's time to choose you. It's time for self-care for you and coming into like more an empowered place from your healing. So healing is a theme, but it feels like you have to choose that and choosing the healing in a way of a new pattern. So for some, it may look like new workout routines, new diet. But one of the things I'm getting with you is a new way to approach relationships. And this can be relationship to self, relationship to others. And it feels like it's both. So it's more of how can I choose things and choose healing and choose my relationships and approach it from a way that feels healthy for me and not necessarily worried about the end result, just more with a guiding force of I'm choosing me first and I'm choosing this not because I'm selfish, but I'm choosing me first for self-care and to prioritize, like putting the oxygen mask on first before I help others. So that's the messages I get. But Chandra got the same card, so we'll see if she has a different message.
Well, since we got the exact same card for the first card, I decided I'd pull two more, and the two that came out were the Channeler and the Seer. So I was getting one definite direction on that, and I thought, well, I'll just pull a clarifying card, the Empath. So I'm definitely feeling like that was validation that when Whitney was talking about choosing that relationship, I'm definitely drawn more to like the relationship with yourself, and not abandoning this side of you, like making the conscious choice and effort to pay attention to your own intuition and your own knowing, and maybe even connecting to that more strongly in a new way, in a different way. But I definitely feel like you are either are extremely intuitive or have the want to be more intuitive, and that side of you is really calling out in a way that it's kind of time to choose that and bring it to the forefront for yourself.
I like that. And so, Rosemary, if you're not familiar, and for anybody else watching not familiar, so the way I teach, I talk about the channeler, the empath, the seer, the owl. And so the seer is clairvoyant, seeing, the empath is feeling, and the channeler is knowing. And so Chandra pulled 3 out of the 4. So really paying attention to the sight, the feeling, the knowing. And I just want to clarify that for anybody that's not familiar with the way I teach in the card deck. So thank you, Chandra, and thank you, Rosemary. Now I've got Elizabeth Pierce. So Elizabeth Pierce, I'm going to choose you here. And Chandra, I'm going to let you go first this time.
Flew out, water. I'm definitely feeling like there's emotional stuff bubbling up that either and yeah, I just feel like there's like emotions coming to the front that it doesn't feel like you haven't dealt with them. It feels like they're new to me. And it just feels like they are it's not going to be something that you can just push to the side and say, I'll deal with it later. It's kind of like, not gonna let you do that, because I keep seeing a full moon, and the moon and water both for me are talk about emotions, but this full moon just keeps getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm like almost feeling the gravitational pull of it. So it feels like it's pulling all of this stuff out of you and up to the top, and I just feel like it's gonna you're gonna have to give it its due, pay attention to it in this moment, and kind of like let it move through you, move through it. It's not going to be something that you can just not deal with at this time.
Okay. I pulled some cards for you as well, and they kind of go together. Surprising? No. It's the Fairies card and the Joy Guide. Both of these are remember to play, lighten up. It's got that energy. And the Fairies card is also asking you to get outside. The Joy Guide card is also asking you to get outside and to stop thinking so much. Don't be as serious about things. Remember to play. Do what you feel really joyful. And you might even wonder, well, I don't even know what brings joy anymore. And ask your Joy Guide to help you come up with the solutions. But I feel like what can be really helpful for you this week is to not put too much stock into your plans and just allow. So if you need to cancel something, if you need to rearrange something, it's going to be important to be spontaneous, to do what your body needs. So a lot of times we operate too much from here, from thinking and what we should do. And we need to start looking at what your body needs, what you feel inspired to do. And so listen to your gut feeling more this week, especially on Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday stands out more than the rest of the days, and do what you feel. And when you are in that joy, it's great to set some intentions about what you would love more of. And that's part of the manifestation there. But really, it feels like lighten up, be more playful, and that will kind of help you shift some of the things that need to be shifted for you this week. So thank you, Elizabeth, for letting us connect into your energy. And before we get to any other messages, we are actually having a special. So it's been 2 years now that Chandra has been doing readings here at Messenger of Spirit. And we're offering a special price in April. So before the end of the month, if you want to get a reading with Chandra, you can go to messengerofspirit.com/Chandra. And you'll get a special price and you can see all her availability. So that's something, if you're like, gosh, I want to know more, I'd like to go even more detailed with something and ask questions, that would be a good thing to do. So we've got 1 hour sessions, and Chandra also has some combination sessions too. She does numerology sessions. It's really nice. And we're offering that. So wanted to make sure you all knew that. Rita says she got Joy Guide today too. See, it's just part of the theme. Okay, so let's do another reading here. Let's go ahead and Lacy Wyckoff. We're going to pull some cards for you. Wow, getting some similar cards than we've had in the past. Be interesting to see what you got, Chandra. You want to go first?
Sure. Just these all very much feel like they're for the collective, because we keep getting very, very similar things. For Lacy, though, I did get the third eye chakra. So it says visualize your outcome. But I also got inspired action. So, and my intention was for the second card to be a clarifier for this, because immediately, like, 4 different things popped into my head about, with the third eye. And I was like, okay, what exactly is the direction we want to go with that? And what I'm feeling is like, it feels like there's like, you have so many things that you want to like attract into your life and that you want to manifest. And it's like, it's kind of like almost be very intentional with your visualizations at this time, like almost use them as the action. Like, don't, the feeling that I'm getting and the example that they're putting in my head is like, when I will sit down to meditate and I'll actually like start trying to do visualizations or affirmations, I get sidetracked, and like 3 minutes will go by and I'll stop and I'll wonder, how did I get here? How did I get to the point where I'm thinking about this? Because this is way off track from where I started. But so I'm not saying that's what's happening for you, but that's the example that they're giving me. So the feeling that I'm getting from that is like, be very intentional with what you're visualizing at that time, and like focus on it. Be sure that you're staying true to what you're trying to attract. And it's okay. Then what popped in my mind was like shiny object syndrome, like, because this will lead to that, and then that can lead to the other, and then the other can, and then what if, and then you end up way over here. So just take inspired action on the things that you are visualizing for yourself and trying to attract into your current reality and into your awareness.
That was nice. Thank you. I pulled some cards also for you, Lacy, and choice, right? We've been seeing this card quite a bit. Similar to a message that we got before, it feels like it's more choosing things based on your intuition instead of other people's opinions. So literally that's what this card says, but the owl is listening to your inner reading voice, listen to your clear audience, but it's listen to your own intuitive voice and remember your power. Don't give it away. Remember your power. Don't give it away. I had to say it twice. Felt like that's important. So thank you, Lacy, for letting us connect into your energy. And Sarah McKinney, let's pull a card for you. So Chandra, I'm going to have you pull a card for Sarah.
So the first card that pops out is pause. Take time to reflect and integrate. And I feel like that has also been a theme, the whole self-care and taking action intentionally, not just because it feels like it's go time. And then open door, say yes to new opportunities. And I definitely feel like that's kind of like one of those situations where if you're moving too fast, you may just breeze right past that door and not even notice it. But it's in this time. It's in this time when you slow down, when you rest, when you take a moment for yourself, that the bigger opportunities, the potentials that were always there, actually have an opportunity and a moment to come to the forefront and for you to become aware of them in a way that you haven't been before because you were actually taking care of yourself.
And when you pulled that card, I actually pulled the teacher guide card, which is remember to rest is what I get from that. So it's just kind of in that validation there. So thank you, Sarah, for letting us pull a card. And the handle, the Soulful Sister. Let's pull a card or two for you. Okay, as Chandra's still pulling, I've pulled a couple cards. The first card I have here for you, the Soulful Sister, is abundance. So this is a great card to have. The universe is so generous and continue to give from a full cup. Don't try to give from one that's half empty or not as full. So really fill up your cup and know that you can then give to other people. And the way in which to do that is the healing that you need to do. So choose your health above all else. And you can call on your healing guide to help you. And it feels like for you personally, it's important to have more healing, like energetic healing. But I know that you help and heal other people, and that's part of it. But it feels like it's important to bring it back to yourself because when you do, it just helps other people so much more. And I almost feel like you need to be really focused and dedicated on, I'm taking XYZ days to focus on me kind of thing, and don't get distracted. Focus on whatever it is. It's almost like a self-induced retreat for you. You don't have to go anywhere. It just needs to be you doing some healing for yourself is what I see. Chandra, what do you have?
I got clear your mind. I know that's very difficult to see with this light. But with that card, I very much got, not so much clear your mind in like a meditative or intuitive kind of way, but the clearing your mind of like, it felt like you take responsibility for maybe a lot of different people, or for a lot of different outcomes, or for a lot of things that you may or may not have absolute control over, but you still take responsibility for it. And that definitely felt like letting some of those things go in your mind, like clearing some of that out, to make more room for your own healing and your own self-care. And I also got synchronicity. And it was funny because as soon as I laid this card down and looked back up at the live stream, we had been live 33 minutes and 33 seconds. So I don't know if that repeating number means anything for you, but it was a validation that you're gonna be getting. I know you probably already are, but the synchronicities to kind of help you realize, oh, this is probably not something that I need to carry forward or carry as much as I have been putting effort into. You'll kind of get those little guideposts of like, oh, okay, now I understand. Oh, yes, thank you for that, for that validation that this is an area where I can put some more effort and emphasis on myself rather than everything else around me that I feel like I should, quote unquote, should be responsible for.
That hits everybody, I feel like, in the heart. Like, yes, that's an important message. So thank you for letting us pull a card for you. And so I put the link right underneath our faces. It says messengerspirit.com/Chandra if you want to book an appointment with Chandra, a reading, numerology reading, or a different session that she has. And I think that it's time now for us to go ahead and pull some cards for the collective. Any other messages that anybody watching at any time need to know right now? So, Chandra, while you're pulling some cards, I'll just share with everybody. Again, we have a special for full hour readings or 90-minute readings. If that's something that you feel excited on, you can check out more details on that link that I put right there under our faces. It's an April special. It'll end April 30th. But we're going to go ahead and pull some messages just for everybody. And if you're watching now or you're watching later, well, anything else that we need you to know. When I say we, it means our spirit guides. Okay.
This feels very apropos for the moment. And, pardon me while I get a little more woo-woo than usual, but the first card that I pulled was Earth. You're building a firm foundation. Pay attention to the details. And Air. And Earth is a challenging place to be right now. There's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of different ways that can put us into our default state, which is fear. So it's a good time for us to remember that we're very privileged to be here at this time, that it's a pivotal point, and we all chose to be here during this time. So there's really, it's the human nature to fall into those kind of traps, but we don't really have to. Our higher self knows why we're here at this particular time. And the Air card, it specifically says stop overthinking and start communicating. I mean, I think that's kind of self-explanatory, and especially what we were talking about with all of the fire energy going on right now with all of the planets in Aries, the air is just going to feed the fire, and we don't really need to do that because this is part of our plan. So I kind of want to give that feeling of I just lost my word, Whitney. What's the word?
I'm doing that a lot, so I can't even help you. I can't even do it.
Reassurance that it's not the chaos that it looks like. It's predetermined. We've chosen this. We're here to experience it, and we're here to make the most out of it. And I think that's what a lot of the common messages have been: rest, take time for yourself, clear your mind. Make sure that what you're consuming are the things that are feeding you the soul you, the best version of you. So I think all of the individual messages have kind of led up to that reassurance.
Absolutely. I love that. And what I find interesting is, so we asked Spirit earlier before we got started, really. I mean, you saw it, but before we got into individual readings, what can you do to make the most of the energy this week? And Chandra got water, I got water. Well, now she has earth and she got air, and I just pulled fire, which is this week. And with all four elements, it's more of remember to balance. Remember to balance. Right now, this week, we don't have that balance. There's so much energy and fire that you need to rest. You need to do these things. But I have two cards. So I have fire and I have celebration. So with a fire card, this is giving you permission to indulge in your passion and not be too serious. This is the energy where you can burn away the old stuff that doesn't work and support you anymore and create new things, because with fire comes transmutation and transformation. But do what really feels exciting and what you're passionate about, and let your energy flow. Like, follow the energy, follow where you want. Well, not even what you want. It's follow the energy, like of how your body is feeling, where you feel excited to think, because we operate so much from the logical standpoint. And of course, we like logic. Logic helps us. But I'm going to invite you this week to follow where you're flowing. And that's the key here. Indulge in your passion. And then this is this really nice card. It's a great card of ending. It's literally the last card in the deck. It is done. Celebrate. Your manifestation is complete. So this is permission to let go of the details. It's permission to stop worrying. It's permission to stop being so serious and just celebrate that you're calling whatever it is that you want, that you're desiring, into your awareness and into your reality. And so manifestation really starts with our energy. It starts with our thoughts and our energy and our emotions before it gets to the physical, tangible world. And this is about celebrating that it's already done. Even if, your eyes don't actually see the thing yet, you feel and experience the energy of it. And if you're just saying, I don't even know what I want anymore, follow the passion, follow what your body wants to do. Maybe your body needs to rest and you need more rest in your life. Maybe you want to go outside more. Maybe you feel excited to start something new that's creative, cooking. Maybe it's a diet regimen. Maybe it's a herbal path. Who knows? Just follow where your energy is flowing. And that's what we're going to leave you here with today. So thank you so much for everybody being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Chandra, for being here.
Pleasure.
Thank you to all of our spirit guides for being here. And I just wish the best energy for you this week, that you can follow the flow. Don't get lost in it. Know that spirit has you. You can talk to your spirit guides and rewatch this, because there might be some messages in here that you need to hear again. So we'll be back later next week with Michelle. She'll be here with me. But for now, I hope that you are able to harness the energy within and let things flow. All right. Bye for now.